Hello everyone, this is my mommy's post and we're back again. Today I want to talk about your 6 weeks postpartum doctor visit, and I just wanted to make this quick video about the 6 weeks postpartum doctor visit. I know I get a lot of questions about the postpartum visit. A lot of new moms don't know what to expect, and I just want to highlight just a couple of things that I experienced in my 6 weeks postpartum doctor appointments, and I'm just going to go over what happened. This is a 6 weeks postpartum checkup after you have delivered your baby. The doctors typically will go ahead and schedule an appointment with you and see what works best for your schedule, and then have you come in. So in the interim, you are healing, you are taking care of your newborn, and you are just going about what they instructed you once they dispatched you from the hospital after giving birth. So in my scenario, I stayed 3 nights in the hospital after delivering, and then within those 3 nights they just helped me with taking care of the baby and told me what to do as far as taking care of my my tears and just dealing with the postpartum healing. So I was prescribed right off the bat Motrin, some stool softener, hemorrhoid cream, and I stocked up on a lot of the items that they provided. So it was the mesh underwear, the dermaplast, the big pads. They also had the big pads for me, and the what else did we have? The Sitz bottle squirter to clean yourself, and ice packs. Yeah, definitely a lot of ice packs. So I went home with a lot of those items that they provided me, and I just kind of went with the regimen. So obviously you're not allowed to have sex within the 6 weeks because you have to be cleared with the doctor, and you are supposed to just take care of the tearing, the healing. They said if anything smells funky, or if I see blood clots that are big as my fist, then I should call the doctors right away. But the bleeding was normal, the heavy bleeding was normal. You know, the healing process was just, it has to take its course, and the way they told me to take care of it, I kind of just followed directions. So first thing is that after they dispatch you, they schedule an appointment with you to come back for your 6 weeks appointment. So I delivered naturally, so I did have tearing. I did tear, so I did get stitches. I was healing with the stitches. When I went back to my doctor for my 6 weeks appointment, it's kind of like a weird mark because you're just waiting for everything to go back to normal. And I kind of just want to take time and talk about that because the expectation is that we are now waiting for the 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden after 6 weeks appointment, we're supposed to be better, we're supposed to heal, we're supposed to be mentally, physically ready to go. And it's kind of like an unrealistic timeline for us. It might be a timeline that the doctors put in place for them as far as just a benchmark to see how healing has gone and everything physically, where it kind of throws off, especially as a new mom. I was like, okay, you know, I'm waiting for my 6 weeks appointment, and this is it, this is going to be better. And because you're going through all these changes right when you give birth, it's just like, you're expecting some drastic change to happen in your 6 weeks checkup, and it really is not, because every single mom that's delivering, every woman that's delivering is differently. So they respond to delivery differently, they respond to pregnancy differently. So everybody is kind of different. So when you talk to other moms, they go, oh yeah, like I stopped bleeding and I healed within the 2 weeks postpartum, and everybody has a different story. And I was just sitting here like, oh my God, am I the one that's wrong? Am I not healing right? Why am I not healing as quick as these other women or other women or whatever the case is? So just, if you're a new mom and you haven't delivered yet and you're just anticipating your 6 weeks postpartum checkup, just mentally prepare yourself that the 6 weeks mark is not the end all. So you will not magically heal and magically feel better, mentally too as well. So I just wanted to kind of just put that out there, because that's kind of what happened with me. And it was weird, and I was frustrated because I wanted to just be over, and I was really counting down the weeks thinking like, okay, 6 weeks are going to be better, but it really wasn't the case. So I'm just going to walk you through my appointment, and then I'm going to talk about what happened. So you know, obviously you go to your appointment, you check in, and you stand on a scale. They see your weight gain or weight loss. At that point I had pre-conceiving, I was 120 pounds, and by the end of my term I was 150 pounds. I would say 153 pounds. And then when I delivered and I came back from my 6 weeks postpartum checkup, I was 132. I was 132 pounds. So I was still losing my weight. A lot of it is, you know, your breast milk too, but your body's still obviously still healing. So they put you on a scale, they check your weight, they check obviously your blood pressure, and then you get undressed from the waist down. OBGYN walks in, they check to see if everything is okay. The doctor at that point said, okay, you know, the healing is, your scars are healing perfectly, everything looks fine, everything looks perfect, and asked me a couple questions. She just asked me, is it hard to use a restroom? Is it hard to, is it painful to pretty much use the restroom? And then she stuck her finger inside my vagina and she just touched, I guess, the walls of my uterus and asked if it was pain, and I said there was pain, and she just went ahead and told me about the pelvic floor muscle, and she said that I was not supposed to be feeling pain, and during pregnancy some women experience that tension and while they're delivering, and the pelvic floor muscle needs to be repaired and healed. So she then referred me to go see a special therapist to deal with that. So that was the one thing that I thankful of, that my doctor was pretty knowledgeable about. Then they go ahead and talk to you about birth control options. They ask you, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking? What are your options? And then they present you with certain options. And I actually did a video about this, and I'll link it up here. And that goes in depth and detail on how I decided to choose the birth control option that I am on right now and how it's going so far. So they go through that. They reschedule an appointment for you to do that if you are wanting to do an implant or a IUD or anything of that. So they go ahead and they'll talk to you about birth control. And then lastly, they'll screen you for postpartum depression. So in my scenario, they gave me a sheet of paper. It was like a questionnaire, and it was about probably 10 to 15 questions long. And it just talks about, you know, how do you feel, if you have any thoughts of hurting yourself or hurting others or anything like that. So it goes into questionnaires, and it's like a ABCD question answers, and you have to answer them. I answer those, the nurse comes back in, she checks them off, she says everything's okay. Then she had an in-depth conversation with me just to kind of see the state of mind that I'm in. So she asked me like, you know, how do you feel? How do you feel towards the baby? Like, is there any support at home? Do you have support? Do you have financial issues? I mean, she went into depth and detail about just kind of doing like a screening, but it was a very, you know, very wholesome screening, I would say. You know, she just asked me about my baby and how I feel, and just kind of assess me through that conversation as well. And obviously, and I will go ahead and link that video up above too. I talked about postpartum depression, and at that point I was good. So I was clear to go. She then goes ahead and clears you to have intercourse, and you're cleared to use tampons as well. So so that's about it. You know, it's very quick, very easy, and I was, you know, on my way out. And just, you know, just kind of want to circle back and talk about the expectations of your 6 weeks postpartum checkup. Like I said, I went in thinking like, okay, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna stop the bleeding, everything is gonna be okay, blah, blah, blah. And it was not okay. I still had a little pain, like I said, from the pelvic floor muscle issue. I was having pain. I was still bleeding, and I was still in pain. You know, every time I would get up and go use my abdominal muscles, I would still feel the pain from the stitches. I still had some problems walking. I mean, it was just still healing. My body was still healing. I was still bleeding. And so you know, at my 8 weeks postpartum checkup, about 8 or 10 weeks, I went in and I did my birth control. I put in an IUD, and I still was bleeding, but the doctor was telling me because the kind of IUD that I went with, it needed about 6 months for my body to adjust. So then I would have like these bleeding spells. I really didn't get my cycle. It was just weird. I would bleed and then I would stop, and then I would bleed and I'd stop, and then in between I was spotting all the time. So it was kind of weird. It wasn't up until maybe like 8 months postpartum that I stopped feeling pain. I stopped feeling like my body's healing. I mean, it takes so long for your body to heal. And my rule of thumb is that it took your body 9 months to make the baby. It's going to need at least 9 months for your body to heal and to feel like how it used to be. To somewhat. It won't come back to how it was. Your body will never return to how it was. You just feel different. You feel everything just feels different, and it's in a good way. It's not like, oh my God, how devastating. It's just your body went through a big change, and you should be proud of yourself. I mean, every time I look at my baby and I go, oh my God, that human was growing inside of me, I feel so proud that my body could do that, only because I thought I would never ever have kids, and just so that I was blessed and lucky to have this experience. It's just such a humbling process, but I know it is tough, it is hard, it is draining on our body and our brain and our mentally, just exhausting. But overall, we should all just be so proud of ourselves and proud of our bodies as well. You know, our bodies did a big job. And if you look at sizes of the placenta, when it comes out of your body, it holds a big space on your body, and that big spot that it used to hold in your body becomes a scar. So your body's pretty much healing from that big scar internally. Just because we can't physically see it from the outside does not mean our body does not, you know, it's not taking its time for it to heal. So just think of the process of how your body took 9 months for it to make the baby, and now that it needs time to recover, you need to give it that at least another 9 months to recover. I am in about 2 to 3 weeks, I will be a year postpartum, and I tell everybody, like, now I'm just now feeling that my body's healed to where I feel like it's, you know, it's normal now. You know, it was a little painful to have intercourse at first when I was cleared. It, you know, just like I said, with the pelvic floor muscle, it just spazzed. That's kind of what she described it as, just spazzed. It was stiff, and then it needed to just kind of relax. And it just takes time. So I just wanted to do a quick video about my 6 weeks postpartum doctor visit, and I hope you guys enjoy this. I really enjoy doing these videos with you mamas, and I know even if it helps one mom, it just makes my day, because I just love sharing this information. I just love building this community of you moms, coming together and sharing all this insightful information, and just kind of helping one another and build this safe place for moms to come, because I really needed something like this when I was going through my pregnancy. So I do appreciate all of you that watch my videos, and I hope to see you guys back soon. Please like and subscribe my videos.